Hey, welcome to Night Court, episode 90 of the program.
90.
We are 10 away from 100. 10 away from 100. Wow.
I gotta do something special. I gotta try to calculate that, see when that will fall, so that because that's one of the ones that we won't be doing it in this fashion. We gotta be together for number 100.
That's right. That's right. Absolutely. For episode 100, it's going to be a big time. We welcome you to the show. This is Night Court. I'm Rob Fisher on Twitter at The Fish Nation. He is Brevin Knight on Twitter at Brevin Knight 22. And we are with you here on Night Court every week, and we thank you for joining us. And if you're listening to this podcast, we encourage you now view the podcast as well. We've been doing this now for what, 4 weeks now that we've been doing it.
We may have this may be number 5.
5? Wow. Yeah. Okay. Well, time's flying by too. It's unbelievable. But if you haven't watched, you can now watch. It's on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel, and you can catch the links on Twitter because I'll be tweeting it out. Brevin will be tweeting it out. And of course, the show at Night Court 22 will be tweeting it out as well. So you can watch the show, and we encourage you to do it because Brevin, especially for moments like this, when we talk about what you've been doing here recently, it's very noble and it's very surprising. You've been a man of the green thumb, if you will.
Yeah, this is it's the second year where we have started to do our pretty much our own landscaping between my wife Dina and I, and our son even he kicked in a little bit this year. Those are some too many boxes. When you live up here, you get everything delivered. You don't get anything. Just go to the store and get it because this number one is going to be expensive as heck, and it's just not your norm. But yeah, we come in the front. We had to get wood chips, and so the other thing now you had to measure because once you get things dropped off, I never did this before, so we had to measure. We got 3 cubic yards of wood chips, 5 cubic yards of mulch, which we did very, very poor calculations on the mulch because we had way too much. We literally almost mulched the house twice with as much as we had and made up. We created some areas and did something, but yeah, so we planted all of those, everything there in the front. Some of this stuff was already in, and Dana, she's the one that messes around and does she does the flowers and stuff. I do everything else. Those bushes there, the deer, you got to wrap everything in the winter time. If not, the deer will go wild. And our little guy who helps us out didn't wrap it correctly, so that you see they ate the bottoms. But we'll get it back. Cleaned out all of that, mulched it. This is where we just created a mulch area. That just was grass. We just cut into that, and that little tree there. Our daughter Kayla graduated from Elon, and that little tree, that little stem there. We came back and we talked about the deer. They're eating that. It was nothing but a stick. And so we got to come back some. But it's for me in the summertime, we all need something to do. I play golf. I got to clean that tree up. I got to clean that little bush up there. Get those dead ones out.
Yeah.
But in the summer, it was like, I don't really have much else to do other than playing golf. And so it was like, I need something to take up some time. And so this was it. And when you start looking at calculating how much it costs, Roberto.
Yeah.
With landscaping companies up here, I was
right.
like, oh heck no.
Right. It's like paying for someone to put your Christmas lights up.
Yes. And then how people win awards for Christmas lights you didn't even put up? When you won an award, I was mad as heck that people win awards in my neighborhood in Memphis, and they didn't even put the lights up. You got to work for it. Yeah. And those hydrangeas, all of those that we just saw in the back, there was nothing back there. We moved them from the front to the back just to balance it out and have some green and some flowers that could happen in the back. And so it was cool to to be able to see those, even after being transplanted, still doing a good job. That whatever that thing is, there is gonna pop soon. I don't know the name of a lot of these things except all these expensive ass hydrangea that go around
Yeah.
everywhere on the vineyard. And so, yeah, man, it's been fun. It's been we've had a good time, but it's been hard work. Like I understand the money that you pay to landscapers, it's worth it. Like it's the time that goes in, but also when it's yours, it's rewarding to see the outcome.
Absolutely. You know, I was hatchet man during
Yeah, I've
during
been
co-
waiting.
during COVID.
Where is he going?
He's been gone for a while. Yeah, he's he's I don't know. He
You
might be
you
back
are
here
you
soon.
you are part time. You are partly an inspiration. My real
Yeah.
inspiration is my uncle Freddie and my cousin, his son, my cousin Terrence, what I call my brother. The way that they keep their lawns it is. I always said if I ever start to do it myself, that
Yeah.
I would probably be as meticulous as they are, and I am. Donovan, my son, he literally is every day like, Dad, are you seriously out there again? Like, once you can come in
It gets
sometime. So
addicting though once you start,
that's where I'm at. And
and
you
then you
keep and
can't
you
stop.
right, and then you get the tools to do all something else. Like you see something that needs to be done, it's like, oh, I need to get a tool for that. And now
Yeah.
I find myself like, ooh, another tool.
Well, that was impressive, and thanks for the tour. I enjoyed the video that you sent because you're kind of broadcasting the video. You know, there's play-by-play of what's going on and what happened. And when you start getting into cubic yards and everything, I'm like, man, listen to this guy.
It's my way of getting ready for the season.
Yeah,
Just
absolutely.
trying to stay in shape because we got out of what our normal pattern is this year. Normally
Yeah,
we're playing into the postseason, so we have more time. So
yeah.
had to do something with it.
Yeah. All right. Speaking of the NBA, NBA playoffs, the NBA finals going on right now, and it's 2-0 in favor of Boston. I'll give my quick analysis of what I thought from game one
Tell me what you
and
think.
game two. Game one, it was if you wondered how big of a impact Porzingis was going to make on the floor, it was answered because that dude was dominant on both ends of the floor.
Yes.
And then game two, my takeaway is just Kyrie Irving's got to be the second best player on the floor, and right now he might be 5, and that
Yes.
they're not going to win if he's the 5th best player. He's got to be, if not the second best player, third best player. He's got to be Kyrie Irving. He's got to be, what he's capable of, or Dallas frankly just won't have a chance.
And another big reason why he has to be that individual is because also if he's good, then it allows those role guys to be better. See, what made Dallas be good up until this point was yes, Luka was good, and yes, Kyrie was good, but you remember PJ Washington making shots, Derrick Jones Jr. making shots. Even the young kid Green comes off the bench. I think that's his last name. He comes off the bench and he was making shots. And was it Josh? Is that his name? Josh Green?
Yeah, Josh Green.
Yeah, he would come off the bench and he made shots. The bigs in terms of Lively and Gafford, whether it's rolls to the basket finishing for Gafford or it's Lively being able to make plays, finish at the rim also. So it's the combination of Kyrie not being Kyrie has been a trickle down effect in that other guys have been asked to do more when this is the most crucial time of the season. So a little bit out of their comfort zone, but also I give Boston a lot of credit defensively. Number one, what they did was they put the smaller player on their bigs, Gafford or Lively. And what it did was it allowed them to switch. And a lot of times it was Jason Tatum being able to switch defensively. Or what it does, though, and they even played Derek White on defending the bigs. And it's twofold. One, you can always switch in whatever screen they set and you got a defender. But two, it also invites you to try to throw the ball into the post a little bit more than you normally would. Because you would say you have such a size mismatch. Well, throw the ball to that guy. Well, then if you're Boston, you say, that's fine. If you want Gafford to try to go for 30 or 40, let's see, can he go for 30 or 40? But that takes the ball out of those hands, and they've taken away the lob attempts that Dallas normally gets on those turn in the corner, get to the basket. Well, if I switch every time, now you're not able to the advantage to throw to the rim is not there. And conversely, on the other end, what Boston has done in the 2 games is they've inverted offense in that they played Drew Holiday as the low dunker spot guy, and they play Al Horford or Porzingis or whoever's playing the big out on the floor. So when Tatum, who I give a lot of credit, has sacrificed himself in terms of being a scorer, when he makes moves to the basket and drops it off, he's dropping it off to a guy, number one, who finishes well, but it's also a smaller guy at the rim defensively. So when they drop off and go to finish, there's no bigs around the basket. And so Boston, we said that would they be able to amp up their game when the opponent was intact and the opponent was a formidable one. And through the first 2 games, they've done just that.
Yeah, they really did. And going back to Porzingis for a second, for how good of a heater he was on offensively, what he did defensively, the block shots and the altering, the number of altered shots. I mean, Dallas, every time Dallas kept going to the rim and every time they tried to go to the rim, it was like, oh, hell. what do I do? I mean, Luka had a layup at one point and just waited and passed, and it got tipped and knocked around and out of bounds. And it's like, man, they just look like they don't know what to do when they get around the basket.
When did he become a defender? Like, I wonder,
is it a defender or is it well, hell, those block shots were pretty good defensive plays,
right, but yes, that's
but his presence was.
Yeah. When did that I'm trying to really remember before these Boston days, did I ever think of him in that way? Never.
Well, did you ever think of him really around the basket?
No, and that's what I'm saying. Like, even defensively to be in that position, but was he not playing the 5 at these other spots? Like that's the thing that I'll have to go back and see, because it just seems to me this is a recent phenomenon of him being defensive and like you're saying, just being a defensive presence to where, I mean, even in a game when we played against him, I sat there and I was like, this dude is dominating the basketball game on the defensive side. And when would I have thought that would be a norm,
right,
for him? And so I give him all credit because as you said, the defensive side has been as impressive as what he's done offensively.
Yeah. It's pretty amazing to see him knock down threes. Just how big and just
and
his shot's weird. Yeah.
Right, and it's so flat. It's nothing like when he takes those little mid-range jump shots. I don't know if the ball is clearing the rim by more than a foot or 2.
Right.
Like, look, he turns, he'll pump, he'll face up and see what you give him. If you happen to back up, then he'll just keep it right there and shoot it. But it's never up in. It's just in. Yeah.
It's crazy. All right, so Dallas is down 2-0, but road team hasn't won a game yet. Right. Although Boston hasn't lost a road game this postseason, which is pretty incredible.
I still think you get a whole different Kyrie Irving. I mean, the amount of venom that he was taking that entire game from those Celtic fans had to be on a million. Like, it had to be a lot for him to deal with, and he's gonna have to overcome it in some way. But hopefully he'll be able to get himself on track, because I still want a long series. I don't want this to be. I don't want to be a short series.
Yeah.
And so I'm hoping to see really good Kyrie that I think in turn will allow them to see the other guys be as good as they have been leading up to this.
Yeah, I've been impressed with Boston's defense. It seems like it's just been really hard for Dallas. Hard to score.
Physical, the timing of the switches, the hitting rollers going to the basket, the extra effort plays. Um, Even when guys, like you said, even with Luka, the shots that like he's just making shots. He's making
Yeah.
shots, and but he's been able to clear some space. But these are contested. You're not out there getting just anything. So yeah, we everybody said if you look top to bottom that Boston had the best talent that can do it on both ends, and they put it together. And you can't underscore what Jason Tatum has put the team winning above everything else
Yeah.
because he just continues to make the right play on the drives to the basket. He could force shots because he's good enough to force, but he hasn't forced anything. He keeps making and because of it, I think it's going to force Dallas to have to make another adjustment, which is initially they had to do better with leveling him off with the first defender and stop forcing it to always be into help
Yeah.
every single time.
All right. So there you go. 2-0 in that series. Dallas trailing the Boston Celtics. By the way, Jason Tatum. Shout out to the Lou with Jason Tatum. We don't get to do that very often. We don't get to do that very often in in the NBA. Shouting out to St. Louis. So that's nice.
Okay. I got
nice
to win on my
happens.
shot of the jersey when Kyrie gets it all kicked in.
That's right. That's right. Speaking of Jersey, Dan Hurley is going to stay with UConn after turning down a 6-year, $70 million deal. He's staying at Connecticut. I thought it was kind of crazy. Again, I've did sports radio for 30 years, and when I hear things, it just bothers me. It just how easy some things are. And this was another one this week about Dan Hurley, how bad it was for college basketball and how bad it would be for college basketball for him to leave for the Lakers. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, well, first of all, it's going to be his decision whether or not he wants to stay in college or he wants to go to the pros. But it is the Lakers. That does mean something. To be the head coach. You're being offered the head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers for over $10 million a season. Now, UConn's going to come back and probably have a contract that's going to be very similar. So you got to make a life decision at this point. And to me, it was like, what do you mean an argument of, is it bad for college basketball if he leaves for the Los Angeles Lakers? There aren't many coaches in the country who wouldn't leave for the Los Angeles Lakers. That's just a reality of life and a progression of job and different challenges and an individual if he wants those challenges. And this wasn't about was it good for college basketball or bad for college basketball.
I never knew coaching changes had any real effect on the entire game of basketball. I never knew that would happen.
I'll say this about Dan, and I think Dan Hurley's been amazing. Obviously, who wouldn't say that? He's one of the best in college game, winning back-to-back national championships. If he left for the Lakers today, UConn would go get another coach who probably win a national championship like every predecessor before him at UConn.
Right. Well,
Dan Hurley, Kevin Ollie, Calhoun. I mean, they've all won.
Right, but the thing is, and another thing I always say is bad for college basketball. There's only 30 NBA jobs. They're not going to be all filled with college coaches. And so every now and then there's a guy that pops up that may do it. But the thing that will always come calling is the money. The money is something that at the end of the day will always have someone listening to a conversation. And for Dan Hurley,
they didn't blow away an offer, I don't think. I mean, it was good. No. It was great. Great offer. Right. Great offer. But it wasn't I have to take it offer.
Well, and the other thing is how much you got to remember also what cost of living kicks into that also. So you may be making that much, but what are you having to spend to be able to be in that scenario? At the end of the day, I think Danny Hurley just realized that, you know what, I got it pretty good where I'm at. Will I be able to make 10 million because I'm at a state school? I don't know if it'll be 10, but I know that I'll be able to make enough. The cost of living will be a lot different than what it is in Los Angeles. And the other thing is, I'll probably get comped a lot of stuff walking around being a national championship coach. And so, well, what things are not bad at all right where I am.
Man
And he's an
doesn't pay
East
for a
Coast
round of golf. Doesn't pay for a round of
man.
golf.
Doesn't pay for dinner most times when he goes out. So listen, life is just fine where he is, and he's an East Coast guy. And so it would have taken a lot, and just to see what it entails in being a head coach in the NBA and what they have already set up there at UConn. I just it's definitely not a step backwards in any way, shape, or form for him not going to the Lakers.
And you could look at many reasons why not to take the job. I mean, the Lakers' future, what does that entail?
Right.
Here
Hey,
after the
listen,
next year or
I
two,
think Danny Hurley with what he did. Listen, without Danny Hurley, I might not have gone to Stanford and did what I did. So I always say thank you to Danny. Played
yeah.
against him in high school. And because he was people always ask PJ Carlissimo why he didn't recruit me to go to Seton Hall University. It was because he had Danny Hurley and he had a guy named Brian Caver who was there. No need in recruiting me.
Thank you, Danny Hurley.
Yes.
Hey,
without I would not be sitting with Fish.
That's right. How about that? I just think too, he's a college basketball coach. He's not ready. And if he wants to go to the NBA someday and is ready to make that move to the NBA, I think he'll be more than able to do that.
Yes.
So I don't think
it just wasn't the right time for him.
So who is it for the Los Angeles Lakers at this time?
I mean,
James Borrego,
JJ Redick, is he now off? Is that now done with, or do they go back to it?
I don't think they ever formally interviewed him, so maybe they interview him now. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how much was into that story.
Well, I think at the end of the day, I think there has to be the conversation of how does the LeBron effect weigh into it all, and what are the realistic expectations as they move forward? Is it going to be a Anthony Davis team? Are they going to continue to push forward that way? How are they going to build around? Because the other thing is they roster wise is they're tight on what they can do. So it'll be. I think they need someone who is at least a headstrong person, somebody who is comfortable within themselves to be able to go out and coach all of those guys with the personalities that they have.
Yeah. Apparently, the Cavs interviewing James Borrego and Kenny Atkinson this week for their job as well. It is time once again here on the program for what's going on with Caitlin Clark. What's going on with Caitlin Clark? And this week's update takes us to the Olympics. She's not on the Olympic team. Brevin, are you outraged that Caitlin Clark is not on the Olympic team?
I don't care one bit, Rob.
Oh, man. I thought you'd have a big take.
All right, what are we saying? And the thing is, at the end of the day, she's not one of the best players in the world. She is the best marketer for women's basketball right now. Yes, but she's not one of the best players, and all of those people that are on that team are worthy of being there. It's like, so who will you take off to put her on? And so I think that it was handled the right way, and she's played a lot of basketball. Like, I mean, she literally went from playing a college season into the Final Four, drafted WNBA season, Then they stopped that to now go to try to go and play in the Olympics, to come back and I mean, it would physically probably would be very taxing on her to do. But I don't see it. I don't see it as being a story of anything other than there are other better basketball players than she is at this moment. She is just the marketing genius. Well, not her himself. They have made her the marketing tool for women's basketball.
Yeah. And she'll get there. She'll get there in 4 years probably.
Heck yeah.
And so there's no outrage needed on this. There's no, and it's the Olympic team too. It's not like we need to sell tickets. We're trying to win, man. We try, and we'll win, and we will win. But you want the best that you have, and they have a list of the best that they have, and she's not one of them. And then to her credit, the way she handles it is beautiful. It's where there shouldn't be any controversy. I mean, she's not upset with it. She understood it.
Listen, I give her through all of this, all of the feelings and the talk about it has had zero to do with her, the person. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like this is all about what everyone else thinks about it, what she means, how it should be. Like, is this a race thing? That's been everybody else. Like, for her, it's literally, I'm trying to go out here to win games, to get better, to play against, because I'm playing against the best women basketball players in the entire world. And I'm a rookie. Like, that's my concern. Is it going to be rough? Is it going to be physical? Yes, I got to figure that out. I got to play through it. The not making the Olympic team. You know what? All of the ladies that made it, they're better. This is their time. I'm going to continue to work, and I know that I'll have a chance later. She's had all of the right answers from this point. It's literally everyone else that has created what this soap opera has become.
We'll talk more about it next week.
Of course. There'll be something.
Florida Panthers lead the Stanley Cup Final, 2-0 over the Edmonton Oilers. They're just
I told you. I told
they're
you.
More physical.
I told you last week.
Yeah.
You went with the feel good story.
Yeah.
And I told you it was good. Like, it felt they had hit a stride, but Florida they've been there. They had the taste. They came back this year, and they had everybody had the Rangers as the darlings of the playoffs. Watch out! Not really talking much about Florida. See you later. See you later, New York. Edmonton, first Canadian team to be able to win a Stanley Cup Final in 30 plus years. Florida's like, we're trying to become the second. We're trying to become the second team in Florida to win the Stanley Cup here in the last couple of years. We creating our own history.
Yeah. No kidding. Crazy. But that series goes back to Edmonton. So we'll see. But Edmonton's got to be it's got to be much better. It's been fun to watch though. Did you watch the Belmont?
When was that?
That was Saturday. It was at like 5:48.
Saturday 5:48. It was still light outside, so that meant that I was in the yard.
Working in the yard? Okay. All right.
That was in the yard. Well, who won?
Dornock.
First.
Dornock. Dornock. 17-1.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, did Dornock come back? Did they win? As they went to the last stretch, did they come from behind? What was the win like?
I don't remember.
No, I would say because whoever the front horse is, they never win.
No, the front horse did not win. The front horse was Seize the Gray, the winner of the last one, the Preakness, and did not win.
As soon as they get that, they come around that last turn. If your horse is the one that's in the lead, it's you lost.
Yeah.
Whoever's behind, you get excited. If it's
Hey,
not horse, I'm like, yes.
yeah. Mike Tomlin, 3-year contract extension. How about that?
All he does is win, win, win in the regular season.
Haven't won a playoff game since 2016. 2016, dude. That is 8 years without a playoff win. That stunned me when I saw that.
Yeah, that's what I said. He's become a very good regular season coach. It's just when they get to and the thing is, he's just with the right franchise.
Oh, hell yeah, he is.
Like I think this is only like third or fourth coach
Yeah.
in their history.
Chuck Noll, Bill Cowher, and Mike Tomlin.
Three coaches. And then so that lets you know, like, if you still have some level of success and you're a good guy, which he is, and he really gets the most out of his guys, in terms of becoming also, in terms of off of the field, then we're going to continue to ride with you. And
Yeah.
I mean, I think a little bit the last couple, I don't know if they didn't anticipate, but it just seems like they weren't ready for the Ben Roethlisberger retiring.
Right.
And what were they going to look like and do post Ben Roethlisberger? And now, and so I think at some point in time you got to start to, defensively they've been there, but like what are you doing on the other end, on that other side? It's just they haven't been able to find an identity.
Yeah. All right. TV. Have you had time for any TV?
No, we watched Succession.
Oh, okay. Good.
It's like it's I would say it's not bad. It's good. Like, I know it was one of those shows that everybody was like, it's one of the best shows ever. And I guess it's good. I would say it's good.
Okay.
But it's not. I'm not clamoring to watch it. It's not like as soon as we get off of here, I'm about to go watch a couple episodes.
Right.
I'll probably go cut some grass after this.
My wife and I on the couch the other day having a lazy day. There was nothing to do. It was like a Wednesday, I think. And we decided to watch Diddy's Downfall on Hulu.
On Tubi? On Hulu?
Hulu, yeah, Hulu.
Yes. You know what? I think Dina watched that the other day. I think I heard it. And I gotta watch it. I mean, this has been a downfall, a quick one too.
Oh my gosh, it's amazing how it from the rise to the fall too was it was
and
crazy.
How quickly people jump on.
Man got a key to the city and to New York City, and they want to take it back. It's like,
sent them an email. I mean,
we're changing the locks to the city.
Howard said we gotta give us back that doctorate that we gave you. You gotta get that back.
Yeah.
Can't. We can't do it.
Man, so then we watched that, and then we watched Scott Peterson, The Wrong Man, ? The Lacey Peterson deal. Yeah. There's a group trying to get his case retried because of new evidence. So yeah, big deal there. So we watched that. That was good. But there's also a show coming out Wednesday tonight, I believe, if this episode is releasing, Wednesday, this week, Wednesday. It's
tonight or it's Wednesday.
Wednesday. It's Presumed Innocent on Apple.
Presumed Innocent
on Apple. Yeah. Jake Gyllenhaal is like the main character.
Okay.
And
is it a whole season drop or is it just an episode?
I don't know. I don't know that.
I don't do well with it.
Yeah. So
the problem is there are too many services, yo. There's too many.
Yeah.
It's like you just got to make up your mind what you're watching. Because I always forget about Apple. Apple has good shows.
I know they do.
But I
mean, that's the thing,
about
man. I told you I've been watching Sons of Anarchy, but I'm only on episode 7. I haven't been able to binge, so it's not like I can just flip over and start another show because then I'll have 6 shows going on at the same time, and that's difficult for me.
My brain doesn't work well because then you start asking. Then I start going back to a show, and I'm like,
right.
So I try to be at most 2 shows, like and finish what I'm watching. Like if it's something you can finish, I don't watch. I do the not watching shows in season. Like if it's a weekly thing, I don't like to do that.
No.
Because I don't do well.
Presumed Innocent.
Okay.
Starts on Apple.
Guess what else is coming out? I think this weekend. Second part of Bridgerton.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, I don't do that.
So good, Roberto. So good.
I don't like old stuff or English stuff.
Put the closed caption on.
At my age, I have to usually anyway.
Listen, I don't watch TV without it. But I just sports. Like I turn it off for the sports. I hate.
Have to turn it off for the sports
because like in the way. It's in the way of the thing, and it's so far behind. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But I don't watch any movie or show without closed caption on. None.
Yeah.
And I remember when I think my daughter did it at first. I was like, why you have that up there? Now I'm literally like, as soon as we put it on, I was like, hey, you put that closed caption on?
Well, see, I don't think I whisper it. I think I say, can you put the closed caption on?
I can't hear. I need closed caption for some of this new hip hop music. That's what I need.
Some of that new hip hop music, yeah.
Yes.
All right. Toast time. How about toast to SEC baseball because it just means more. 4 of the 8 teams in Omaha for the College World Series are from the SEC. The other 4 are from the ACC, which is pretty unbelievable too. But go SEC.
That's still going on?
Yeah, they just got to Omaha. They start this weekend in Omaha. 8 teams are left.
So they haven't been in Omaha at all?
No. They start this weekend.
How long is this? Is this the college thing? Like
it's arguably the hardest championship to win in sports.
Yes.
Because of how long because of how close baseball can be. So, I mean, if you're playing a good team, you could lose on any given day. The better team could lose and your season's over. So yeah, it's been going on for a while and it's tough. It's a tough journey for sure.
Jesus.
So shout out to the SEC. Toast to the SEC.
Okay.
And toast in honor of Porzingis. Who's the original unicorn?
The original unicorn would be I don't know. Magic.
Dirk? I was thinking Dirk.
I mean, it all depends. Like, we might have coined the phrase at a certain time, but I mean, it was guys that was doing
a
little bit
I know
of everything.
Porzingis
That
is
was
one
some,
of them.
Yeah, that was some freakish type things. I mean, listen, why would Wilt Chamberlain not have been one?
Yeah, no kidding. There you go. There's your answer.
Look no further.
All right, toast to Wilt Chamberlain.
There we go, Wilt.
So shout out to Wilt, the original unicorn. All right, that's going to do it for us here on this edition of Night Court. Thank you very much for listening. And if you're not watching, you should. You can watch on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel. Bluff City Media YouTube channel, Night Court, and check us out there as well. So thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Thanks for joining us here on Night Court. For BK, I'm Fish. Thanks for joining us. We'll talk to you again next week.
Thank you for listening to the Night Court podcast. If you enjoyed Rob and Brevin, hit that like button, subscribe to the Bluff City Media YouTube channel, and enjoy the content. We will see you back here next time.